All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Horribly, egregiously, and very difficult rough words.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
Don't try to reverse the theme song for my show. It's mine, I own it. It'll go to hell for psychologically and metaphysically touching it. You're scumbags. You're not heroes. There's been no hero for decades. The system is upside down. That's why we get nowhere. You're all fake. It's not politics. They're going to try to call it politics. It's not law enforcement. It's not private investigation. But you claim all of the above. There are witches stuff. The more people they put in, then they go after their victim. Let's see if we can force them to pedophilia, sex crime, violence, or if we can't get there, at least make them make a real threat against us instead of a metaphysical spell and curse. I know what you're doing. The cops here know what you're doing. The cops will go to hell for not stopping. Pennsylvania State Police is already an ignorant piece of shit going after some chief while we're in the middle of narco operations for some misdemeanor. Oh, you didn't turn over the information, the data right. Therefore, you're a criminal. You know, the PA State Police require that when they show up idiocy, it's some idiocy like that. Taking out a chief in the middle of intensive narco investigation and narco roundup. The narcos are laughing. Got one of them. How's we pay for that? So what's going to happen is I'll go somewhere else, I'll shop in like Petronia, Cranberry, or Carrington, and go see he reacted to the investigation. This is how stupid and fucky they all are. They're just a bunch of fucks. Do you remember what a fuck is? Or do you worship the fuck now? And now it's something wonderful. Oh, the almighty fuck. Believe you me, these dirty cops here in PA, just like Kansas, can't wait to get a Democrat in there when they go all day. Trump, 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 each one Trump. When the Republican wins, then they turn the Republican deep state pieces of garbage on. And they go, oh, he's dangerous because he wants our children to be harmed. Are you fucking crazy? All those kids that were killed by the motor suicides, at least 70% are these fucking people. Fucking a person's head until they kill their children and their wife. That's what that is. If you go back to the last thing they were into, they finally felt the heat and moved on to murder suicides. Talk about it long enough and they move on to their next narcissistic animal scam. Their scam is organized crime, racketeering, and extortion for narcotics distribution, sex trafficking, fraud, pedophile coverage, what do they call that? Protection racket. Pedophile protection racket. No, there's no way to speak normally now. I have to fuck you. In every ounce of my body, including the verbiage I use. It's your system. I'll use it to fucking destroy you. Oh, I'm angry? Fuck you. Fuck your families. Fuck your organization. And fuck your mind for saying I'm angry. Who wouldn't be? Oh, sickos like all of you. That's who would be. I'll drive home to my next big house. Fucking garbage. You better fucking police your PI roles, and you better fucking police your police departments. Or fucking God will rip an asshole larger than any asshole that's ever been ripped. You better get to where you're supposed to be. You better do your job instead of campaigning, Governor. You better do your job. I'll throw you out of Judaism. Running organized crime and racketeering police departments and private investigators that are licensed by the state? What the fuck do you think you're doing? I hope that woman and her 2 kids, as long as they're doing what I knew that I thought they were doing, and they probably were, I hope they drive up the side of the road and blow up. I don't give a shit. She's garbage. Her kids will grow up to be little devil guards whores like her. Get them off the face of the planet now. What you say to Scan? He's not really disabled. She does it to everyone. They do it to everyone. Fuck them. Fuck their families. Fuck their organizations. Fuck anyone that supports them. I don't care if they arrest 10 people this week. I fucking don't care. It's a cover story. And fuck the Dearborn Police Department if they fucking move 1 ounce for a Muslim fucking organization to investigate a U.S. citizen for corrupt reasoning. You better not even fucking think of it. And I'll fuck you and fuck you till the day you're in hell and laugh at you in hell. Some little fucking joke for all of you. People are inanimate, not real when you do this to them, right? They deserve it. You're special. Your police department's special. Your mother's special. Your uncle's special. Yeah, they're a special kind of fucking piece of shit going to hell. We're not killing you at birth. You should be an abortion. I'm pro-choice. Abort the motherfuckers. We let abortion go if they just take all of you. Rotten little whores. Quit spreading your legs, you won't be single mothers getting paid $7,000 a pop to harass disabled veterans and combat veterans. Keep your legs shut, women, so you don't have to work for the PI while you give moral sex on the side, calling your victim a pervert. Enough of this shit. There's a woman in Walmart today. She might as well be naked. Obviously, she doesn't have blue skin, but that's all that stuff was. Another layer of micro skin. The hell's wrong with all of you? I'm not a prude, but that's crazy. I'm one of them working for the dirty PI and dirty cop to begin with. We're a task force. Because we bribe people. We get to be a task force. Number of fucking people that you cause to kill themselves and kill their family will cause you to have to do 1,000 years at a minimum in hell. 1,000 years. You won't believe it if I tell you forever, but it's not like 1,000 years in hell. And you're willing to do it. Oh no, we know we save people all day long. Poor single mothers, every one of these churches, sucking off the tip, spreading their legs for the church members on top. Only reason they let them stay around. Giant horde. No, it's a single mother that has sex with the preacher and go to church. Don't put more out because he's dangerous. You're dangerous. I can see the front. It's not happening. You want to invoke your mental health facility for organized crime and racketeering? Just go ahead and do it. I'll turn that so fucking upside down. By next Monday, they won't even know the name. I will put a spell on them from God that will put them in holy hell. And they won't understand what's going on because all they feel like doing is quitting and walking away. That scam's dead long ago that nothing's happening. Who out there really believes that nothing's happening? Every single cop that has his job past 10 years knows it's happening. Because he had to, or she had to have allowed it to stay. Never even heard. You realize every one of those children is the focus of spells and curses on me. Your children are going to be sluts and jewels and trans and gay, depending on what the curse is. But I'm not cursing you to that. They are. You work. Because they want that child and I to have a sexual interaction. Tried it this morning before I even left. Tried it with video on Facebook. Is Emily still there or is somebody else in charge of that? Wasn't enough to ruin my life for 20 years, Emily? Because you're a psychotic fatal attraction whore who had sex with FBI bosses while your coworkers tried to make you out to be a virgin? When I was just trying to live my life and get away from the whole fucking thing? Because it was nothing to begin with but a fatal attraction whore? She's not off limits. Because of her work, I made her off limits. That's it. She's never been. She entered into my private life. FBI tried to clean it up, but there was enough said in that congressional hearing that we realized what it is. She's the epitome of fuck up mover. But again, have sex mover. Goes along. Yeah, I put her out of Jewish faith. Oh, she's never been off limits. She murders people for a living, but even while she was in the FBI, and goes and does extracurricular stuff that she's not allowed to do. That's worth $1 million to the person she does it. Her personally and me. Remember, social media is full of CIA and FBI that are the most corrupt pieces of shit that have ever empowered narcotics distribution and sex trafficking based upon being accepted into those fields of work. In other words, if you're not accepted, they'll arrest you all day. That's the scale. Aren't we heroes? 1,000 arrests! Well, how many did you actually cause with your machine that's online and offline, or online in the physical world, and your witchcraft? But how about the other 1,000 that pay you $1 million a year to run sex trafficking and narcotics distribution? There is no way, zero way, for narcotics to be here without Pennsylvania State Police, without Butler County Sheriff's Department and police departments to be part of it. There's no way. Same thing true for Allegheny County, same thing true for the state of Pennsylvania, same thing true for the entire United States. No way. They're sacrificing your kids for the next $1 million. They let Emily live. Why? Why did they kill John? John wouldn't accept it. She would. She's part of the execution of my family. Even after. If I was in the government, I'm like, misunderstanding, we go our separate ways. Then I leave, the government is still doing it. Fucking my mother's head. If she ever desired to do anything for me, they would fuck her head. Sheriff Department, gotta tell you, let's follow Marlene. Emily ordered it. Ricky ordered it. Hughes ordered it. It's fake, man. It's a lot. That's where sex traffickers go to spend their hard or illegally acquired cash. They're about the game. They just want to say they're hard work. Naples, Florida is full of drug traffickers, sex traffickers, porn industry bigwigs. But we're a church community. Every one of those people, even the ones that dropped out, could have went back and said it was a false statement. And they were false statements. There's nothing there. Anybody that looks at it knows it's false. Just to have it in your hand doesn't mean anything. So what they want me to do is harm one of those people in the store. I will harm them. That's what they want. They were going to grab her head, twist it off, and go, see, I told you it was going to harm somebody. Yeah, the shit that Emily said 20 years ago that I was capable of hasn't happened in 20 years. So you know what she says? And her buddy said? He hasn't done it because we're watching. No credit for my own personal strength in pushing away their criminal enterprise that is psychological and demonic in nature. Destroys people's minds. They rape their kids. They kill their kids. They shoot their wife. These are, look, the police department knows they did the 1, 2, 3 to the family that ended up dead and the husband they arrest. But they still walk around like, aren't we the heroes? We talked about them. When they're the ones that caused it. Stalking him. The narcos affiliated with him drugged the guy. You know how to get around doing this to disabled people? He's not really disabled. Or the risk is much greater than his disability. I hope there's a real revolution. Because I'll be back in life. Where do I sign? And I don't need revolution. I think the Constitution is quite reversed. They try to overthrow the Constitution lead away. It's already scheduled. Sharia law flunkies who stole all the tax dollars. While deep state's blocking my disability, the Sharia law people were millionaires, made millionaires. That's what you're into, Butler County. Don't tell me that's the other side. That's what you're into. Kill the veteran and lift up the terror communities. You're just the Republican funky part of it. The church part. That's what I should do. Keep empowering something like that. So we get to take you all out. They think it's funny to do this to people. They laugh at them, right, FBI agents? What are you, a sack now? Still in the sack with Emily and the others? Destroying my mind using CIA and surreptitious drugging. Driving by so I can see him in the morning on my way to work. A special assignment. Actually working for the FBI. You see how perverted and psychosexual their mind is? You'll be a slave for us and we'll fuck you before you get to work. Drive by and they laugh at you. I ain't forgot it. Parking lot across from my apartment in Cockeysville. Pieces of shit. Anti-American pieces of shit. Till you arrested one of your fucking shops. There's another 1,000 out there over the last 10 years. Oh, we don't take money because we didn't get arrested. You see how that works? I'm not arrested, so I'm not a crook. That's their scam. That's why they push their victims to commit a crime. That's their psychotic superiority complex, God complex world. The whole time they're doing this, people, they're having sex. The FBI's excuse to the agents that investigated, you know what it was? consenting adults, as if I had sex with children. They believe their own shit. The FBI was told that the agents around my case were inordinately sexual and moving from the case to places to have sex. Probably because the agents probably don't have a job anymore. They're devils, man. They're consummating their torture of another person with sex. And Satan empowers it. A couple of men tried to lure me into sex, and I don't believe it was undercover. I believe it was real. Take him down, and now we get to have sex with him. Nothing better. You know you got that history, DHS. You weren't as good as FBI in hiding it. I was stalked today. Felony criminal stalking, and it's federal because it's ordered from across state lines. I don't care if you're part of it, connected to the person. I really don't care. The cops will find you. Look, when you leave the planet, it doesn't end. No matter what somebody's told you, you don't dissolve into the thing. There is judgment. So you'll either get it here or after this place. They got the old reversal on. We'll destroy that. Because everybody that I'm trying to get to see the truth will now see it reversed based upon their curse and their will. And of course, it's safe. I'm going to play like I'm crazy while you try to kill me. Scumbags. Criminals. That's why you can't do anything with those charges. Because you've elevated the crook and killed the honest citizen. Blame yourselves, man. The fools for the devil and Soros. Make sure investigating police departments fabricated cases. And don't just wink it away. Because you'll wink your afterlife away. That goes possibly something here. Yeah, believe me, they won't tell you the truth. Look, I corrected this and they did it again. This is part of the psychological torture. Now, some of it will happen just because they're hitting you all day long with stress and torture. And it's not only stress, it's torture. It's torture-driven stress. Look, by the time I left the Marshal Service, they'd already did it over 10 years, like 15 years. So don't tell me that if I didn't say something, that nothing would have happened or nothing will happen. Because I curse you another 7 generations forward and another 20 generations back. Yeah, see you. Yeah. Show. Roll. Yeah. God doesn't accept it, and I don't accept it. God will not accept a single thing that I've spoken about, except would encourage me and is me when I say it. Otherwise, how do I say it? I'm sorry it doesn't exist. It's all bullshit. So I know for a fact that Satan's involved in this, including in my childhood. Because there's a lot of, again, once God wakes you up as a seer, you can begin to see him. And of course, God is the seer. And again, in this universe, Yeshua ben David is the mechanism, but he's also a force. Again, it's a long lineage of God trying to fix the world. Well, Yeshua ben David can't say I'm force of Egypt and Israel and everything anymore. Even though Egyptians did say anything. And that's good. He had the power through that mechanism all those years. When he took a body, he could go to Egypt and be protected. Others didn't make it. And it's weird because in my life, when I went to Egypt, what are the chances of me going to Egypt? Like a year into the military, right? I think it's less than, it actually may have been less than a year. Yeah, it was. But I saw it. I had such a great life in Egypt while we were, at the South Camp. Things really turned around in a couple of ways. And, I'm Egypt love. And, again, the same thing. Not part of my life per se, but it's how I can do the things I can do. Again, 3 years into this thing, right? Even 10 years into it, I was doing the almost Jesus like. He knew he wasn't a virgin. He knew he wasn't good. Don't listen to the goyim who altered it so they were the Sharia law types that you're seeing the same thing. That Roman emperor that declared Christianity, he altered it, along with the Greeks and some others. He turned it into a pagan and took out the power of all the knowledge of evil eye. It was about the 3rd century. Well, they couldn't beat it, so they joined it, but they altered it. In fact, the more disabled I am, the more energized they become. And then, yeah, see, there they are again. I just got the reception. Oh, it's because of all your victims. I mean, I have no victims. They have tons of them. They used all their knowledge that they gained investigating crime to create that criminal enterprise that is almost impossible to take down. Cash Patel hasn't been able to take it down. So good. It's obvious. Exactly. There are some people that are real-time cursing me right now. They're hiding behind cloaking mechanisms. However, we're talking about almost 40 years, about 40 years of metaphysical projection. And it was in my childhood because when I was a kid, my dad was abusive, but I'd always say I'm sorry. That's where I did end up doing the same thing with my wife and probably shouldn't have her. Probably her thing. But then he's like, he got mad at me saying sorry. And one of these days, one day, his birthday, blowing a sorry rock. Sorry rock. No big deal. But yet, Satan knew that this is their scam. Oh, we're sorry. There's a false thing inside, sometimes the voice, sometimes the innocent. I don't know how people listen to people got hearing voice. I just kind of get the vibe. But it's as good as the voice, really. Yours But that's part of it. So if there's things that are being revealed that show that they were touching back into my. So the people I worked in the Marsh Service were my child. That's how it worked. That's why I was okay until I got there. But again, they did it to be, because they're the deep state, man. They'll let anybody in that they think is going to do anything other than what they do. That's the first part, and they're corrupt. The second part is I had a price on them. It's all hit. I've been most of my life with a contract. Again, there's the CIA does things like, oh, he's gonna take your job, he's making you look bad. This is how their government operates. The deep state comes in and says, well, that person's working too hard, he's too good, and they don't use those words. But that's the gist of it. But they say, well, let me, get you. We can take care of it. All you got is pieces of shit. You got the scum on the bottom of the barrel, or at least allow criminal operation in government to save their own money. That's pretty much what you got. There's a dossier on everybody. All they do is present the dossier, and they fall apart. Worthless and weak. So what the CIA then builds them up. These are heroes! So money is being paid for information every day. But police departments aren't prosecuting it. It's such a joke when they go, oh, we caught this officer doing things. No, there's 700 officers did something way. So again, it's the idea of arresting enough of the people we don't like, that are police officers, charge them, then we're doing what we're supposed to. Like the old scam of the FBI. What was it? Who was Comey? Was it Comey or after Comey? McCabe or Comey? I think it was Comey. Essentially, they couldn't have committed the infraction because it's against the rules. There's no FBI agents that's done that because it would be against our policy. What are you thinking, man? Did you really say that? We don't even know that. They wouldn't violate policy. No, what they're using that for is for a CIA operation on top of a witch's coven of devils. That's the level of devil now. Every witch is like a devil of yesterday. There's that much anti. They get the witch's coven of devils get together and they focus on their victim and curse their victim. But they also use it as CIA operation. They tell the people in the stores, they tell their friends. They're on their little Walmart walkie-talkies. This guy's dangerous. This is what they do. It's an operation they use against combat heroes and heroes. The real. I don't have a problem calling myself a hero. I mean, I was a hero of the government. But what I did after the government, I mean, that's hero beyond hero. I don't know if there's a single person on the planet that even close to what I did for the people at Brother's Government. Essentially, was a one-man spy agency keeping the corrupt rogue spies at bay. There are people in the federal government have their job because I told them what was going on to begin with, but also because I actually state people there. So Vindman was one of the guys that was speaking the greatness of the deep state. He thought he was going to get in there and get it on. They think the value but at one moment, it was Gina Spamberger. She the one that sends you the spam emails and screws your head. See, that's a CIA program. I think Spamberger was the chief of that. Spamberger. Send you spam all day, screw your head. So you'll back out of the deal and then their cronies come in and fight for this. The person did. Spamberger. What they call it, the company. Years ago, they called the CIA the company because it's not the government. It's a private corporation. Worse than a nonprofit. That's probably where they got the model for the nonprofits from Strandberg and their crew. Those rough things going. You can actually become wealthier with a nonprofit than you can with a corporation, unless you based upon per capita wealth within the organization. But you just give it to yourself. You don't give it to the corporation. There's no stockholders. There's no corporation to pay. You just say me, employee. I'm just an employee. You call it church meeting, right? And Jesus is actually a guy that buys storage units. I couldn't do that. I feel so bad. It's like it's like being a money lender. People have to fall on their storage units, you buy them up, and then sometimes you get thousands and thousands of dollars. You pay a couple $100 for it. It's Jesus. Not too much like a money lender. Or the concept of money lender. I mean, money lenders today, if they're honest, they help people. Help themselves, love it. Helping others. That's it. Paul, I'm thinking about the guy running for what is he running? Something senator in Kansas. He's a preacher, and he I forgot where we're going to go with that. This is about you're saying something about Christianity, but still. But he speaks about Christianity, and it's kind of like he tries to be inclusionary, but it's not really where it needs to be. Again, because Christianity was created to be intelligent Judaism. That's the most ignorant thing I've ever. Today, it's the most ignorant thing I've ever seen. That's a Christian fine, man. I mean, falsehood is everywhere. You have to understand, if you touched me today, like being around me today, and you did, and you even touched me before I woke up this morning. I don't care. I don't care what you say you're for. I really don't have time and don't give a shit what a devil like you has to excuse or what excuse you have to give. You're part of the whole thing from the beginning. I don't want to hear some bullshit that you just came into. I have authority to say that. You know why? I could be doing it to you. And I could have made it 10 times larger than it is right now in an instant. I didn't want it. I could be sitting in a dream home for tens of millions of dollars. Oh, but you're Christian, right? You wouldn't do something like that. You wouldn't make a deal with the devil, would you? That's how bad in their minds. I could have been, and I was tortured, and I did torture people. You're not going to tell me how you're mistaken, or you're not that bad, or these people aren't that bad. They're that bad. You're a Christian, right? They will look like what? Angels of light and ministers of righteousness. Homeless exploited children helped us again. I can't believe it. We set it up to begin with. They're crimes. It wouldn't exist. We've been able to heal crime. We've been able to heal, not throw people in jail, but actually to heal crime before it existed. Heal sex crime away. Now you would destroy a person and try to destroy me for healing sex crime away. They're busy cursing your neighbor, psychologically operating, psychologically forcing your neighbor into pedophilia and sex crime. They torture them until they do something wrong, like do a certain form they want. They'll get them on, and before they get the form, they're already in there. I mean, there's a couple cases where probably they were informed. But they start altering the person's form by torture. CIA. So online, the physical world, metaphysical. I already tested what they do. They're just frustrated that I won't go back to the place I was investigating. They're Christian. What the sicko, I call it Pol Pot technology. Do your neighbor or you get them. Can't but really the killing fields. These are the killing fields. Every time you see somebody take out their family, most likely it's probably somewhere between 60 to 75% that it was a psychological operation by these people. So that's it. They love you. There's no doubt that if you come into Butler County and you get somebody to take out their family, that Satan will pay you, and the system will pay you. Maybe more than you, maybe 10 million. What is that? They call me a sucker. And they sitting on top of all that money up there in social media, faking everybody out. They faked everybody out when they were in different agencies and departments. The problem is they've lied to me. So by the time they figure out that it's all bullshit about me individually, again, they don't really care. They've already committed the crime. So then I have to be wrong because they're never right. And that's what they teach you to do. Also known as the beast. See, that's the point. If the Jews won't read the New Testament, they don't get the extra stuff. They can't figure it out. But yet the Christians don't figure it out. Either like maybe they don't want to figure it out. I don't know. So let me get this straight. The guy that said he was not God, the guy that said he was not good, and there's only one good that is God. So he already planted the idea that he's not going to walk around saying he's God. But the guys who murdered him, who killed him, who tortured him, who brutalized him, and his name's Yeshua, his name is Jevis, or Jeebus, or Jesus. They know and knew in the 3rd century what the scripture actually said. It's not hard to figure out. So the guy who said, I'm not God, I'm not even good, somehow said one day that he was God. And he's a rabbi, taking on the Sanhedrin for its corrupt practice against the other people and the other rabbis. One day he's just going to turn around and go, I'm God! A little too convenient. But the people that killed him, that tortured him, that killed the others that were with him in the Jewish sect of Judaism of Yeshua, all of a sudden they're geniuses in the 3rd century, and they're going to tell us what the scripture means and what scripture is allowed. A little too convenient. Christian Butler County. fabrications from one end to the other, and it's obvious. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, still on. Yeah, I figured it was not on. I actually have to speak about something else.